Any mention for unlisted matter? Any mention for unlisted matter? From supplementary list, item number 1. From the main list, item number 1.
May I be pleased, Your Lordship? Your Lordship, on behalf of the Senior Counsel SP
No,
Mahanta.
that happened last time.
My Lord,
Can't go on forever. Can't go on forever. You have to make alternative arrangements. A further accommodation is sought on the personal ground of counsel for the respondent. Come on. The matter will appear a fortnight hence. Full stop. It is hoped that no further adjournment will be sought. Yes.
Much, much.
Item number 2.
Lordship, we filed the report.
Yes.
Photographs at page 2, 3, 4, 5. Your Lordship. Lordship, you can just have a look at it.
What about NHAI?
My Lord, on behalf of the NHAI, my Lord, regarding the immediate removal of the debris in the Sonapur tunnel, my Lord, that has been already undertaken with the help of the local administration also. And efforts are going on, and we are doing also to remove the immediate mudslides, my Lord. But since the weather is not so conducive, my lord, the progress of the work is slow, my lord.
Weather is not an excuse, Mr. Shinmuktu.
Absolutely, my lord.
Everyone knows over here what happens during the monsoon. Weather is not an excuse.
But
Take the weather into account and then
even the officials and the laborers who are working, they are taking a lot of risk for removing the huge mudslides, my lord, and the landslide which is going, and it is also creating a lot of impediments for the.
why aren't retaining walls being built?
My lord, it was a long pending project which was creating problem. Now they will be exploring, my lord. It was under the under the PWD earlier. Now it has been handed over to the NHI, and NHI is now looking into and examining, my lord, all aspects of the matter.
A report has been filed by the state PWD bracket roads pertaining to the Jowai bypass under NH6 bracket NH44, comma, which is a 7.997 kilometer stretch from Mukla bracket Thadlash Kain bracket closed to Mimintudu. Full stop. According to the report, comma, the repair work began at a time when heavy rainfall and flash floods occurred. Full stop. Further, comma, the report reveals that because of the heavy traffic on the bypass, traffic had to be allowed to ply immediately upon the bitumen layer being laid without the road being given, without the layer being given time to settle. Full stop. Paragraph, however, comma, the contractor has been required to rebuild the damaged portions of the bypass, and photographs have been appended to the report indicating the repair work being undertaken at the 5th kilometer. Full stop. Paragraph, apart from this, comma, the report indicates that that work is on for the roadside drain clearance along the entire bypass to ensure that there is no accumulation of water on the road surface. Full stop. Photographs of the roadside drain clearance work have also been appended to the report. Full stop. Paragraph, it is hoped that the repair work on the bypass is completed as expeditiously as possible and some amount of continuing repair work undertaken even during the monsoon as the wear and tear of the road is more pronounced during such period. Full stop. Paragraph. As far as the road beyond Ratachera is concerned, beyond Clariot is concerned, on the Ratachera side, the National Highways Authority of India refers to the landslides near the Sonapur tunnel. Full stop. According to NHAI, the entire road was previously under the state PWD and it has recently been taken over by the NHAI. Full stop. The landslides around the tunnel have made it extremely difficult for the tunnel to be navigable, and NHAI says that sufficient manpower has been engaged to remove the mud and debris and make the tunnel available to the heavy traffic passing on either way. Full stop. The NHAI complains that the tunnel is in an area which is prone to landslides and oftentimes the slush chokes up the entirety of the tunnel. Full stop. Paragraph. The NHAI should take remedial measures and consider placing rocks and nets or building retaining walls on the sides of the mountain on either side of the tunnel to ensure that the landslides don't affect navigability along the route. Full stop. The NHAI says that it is exploring exploring the nature of additional work that is necessary to allow the Sonipur tunnel to function normally, and appropriate action in such regard will be taken up expeditiously. Paragraph. In view of the report filed by the state pertaining to the Jowai bypass and the submission made on behalf of NHAI pertaining to the stretch of road beyond Clariot and leading to the Barak Valley, NHAI should ensure that such stretch is is available to traffic at all times, and that repair works continue all the time, particularly during the monsoon, to ensure that the key connection to the Barak Valley part of Assam and to the states of Tripura, Manipur and Mizoram is not inconveniently disrupted. Full stop. Paragraph, it is imperative that a long-term measure be indicated to arrest further mud flow into the tunnel full stop. Paragraph, the matter will appear 3 weeks hence for further reports to be received from the state PWD roads pertaining to the bypass and from the NHAI pertaining to the stretch beyond Clariot and up to Ratachera and even beyond. Full stop. The matter will appear next on given date.
Item number 3.
Please, Lordship. Your Lordship, we are supposed to file the supplementary affidavit. I'll be filing it in the course of the day, Lordship.
The time for the petitioner to file the supplementary affidavit in terms of the previous order of May 23, 2023 is extended by a week from date. The matter will appear a fortnight.
Highly obliged.
Hence,
Item number 4.
Please, Your Lordships. This is the PIL.
PIL regarding
connection
the
with the
water,
water supply. My lord.
Water supply, my lord. This is a PIL regarding water supply, my lord. The water supply has already been restored, my lord.
Lordship, direction was given to the state to file a report, my lord. In that report, my lord, they have indicated certain aspects which they are taking, my lord. We wish to file a reply, my lord, because one of the factors, my lord, is this Greater Shillong Water Supply Scheme, Phase 3, which covers major localities, my lord, in the city, was it was, my lord, introduced in 2009. Till now, it has not been completed, my lord. And also, there is a water harvesting scheme. The Meghalaya state also has its own water policy. Those are not being, my lord, implemented. As a result of which this is a recurring, and the ground reality. Another aspect, my lord, is the unregulated supply of water through water tankers. So that also is an aspect which, my lord, may have to be.
and where does that water come from?
From the rivers itself, my lord. But it is completely unregulated. They are charging. There's no regulation, my lord. So I'm praying if I can file a reply to bring out
The
certain
state
deficiencies.
has filed an affidavit,
A report, my
It's
lord.
a report.
a report. Paragraph, the petitioner seeks to file a rejoinder to such report. Full stop. According to the petitioner, the water supply scheme pertaining to Shillong city that was formulated in or about the year 2009 has not been fully implemented. So the petitioner also complains that in the absence of regular supply of water to some areas, residents in such areas are at the mercy of private water tankers and the exorbitant rates charged by them, despite obtaining water free from the nearby rivers. Full stop. The petitioner says that such unregulated proliferation of private water tankers should be checked and a cap be put as to the money payable for each tanker. Paragraph, the petitioner is permitted to file a rejoinder to the state's report and indicate its further grievances. Full stop. Such affidavit should be filed within a week from date. Full stop. The matter will appear a week thereafter.
Obliged, Lordship.
Item number 5.
Can we please, Your Lordship?
Yes.
Your Lordship, I'm praying for some time, Your Lordship, in this matter.
Oh, this is that Muddy Ganga. Since the petitioner seeks some further time on the ground of appearing counsel, since the appellant, let the matter stand over for 2 weeks. Full stop. It is hoped that no further adjournment is sought.
Highly obliged, Your Lordship.
Second call from supplementary list. Item number 1.
Mr. Advocate,
Yes, sir.
have you seen the lead judgment of the Constitution Bench in the Election Commission case?
Sadiq Ali.
अरे वो फाइल लाना, नीचे वाला फाइल. This is KM Joseph's.
Original judgment. No, I have not.
There is a lot of thing about a right to vote.
Yes, sir.
How the right to vote can be traced. I've read Justice Chalamishwar, I've read that, and there is something more that we will contribute in that regard. But this is that Anup Paranwal. There are some aspects which are very important.
Yes, Lord.
Where the issue which is discussed is the right to vote a statutory right or a constitutional right?
Yes, sir.
And in this connection, several of the judgments of the Supreme Court have been considered from that Punnaswamy and that Namakkal,
1952.
all through.
Yes, Lord.
And ultimately, certain conclusions are recorded.
Yes, Lord.
Ultimately, certain
Conclusion.
conclusions are recorded.
Yes, Lord.
Now they are, and it's also supplemented by Justice Rastogi
Yes, Lord.
in the concurring judgment.
Yes, Lord.
Now they have not only a bearing on the right to vote,
Yes, Lord.
but also on the right to participate, meaning right to stand.
This time.
We think that there are several of these that you should consider,
Yes, Lord.
particularly the judgments referred to in Justice Joseph's judgment,
Yes.
which is reported at, it's in 2023 SCC Online, SC 216.
Yes, Lord.
All right, Anup Baranwal.
Yes, Lord. I got the judgment, my Lord.
Yes. In addition, there are some office of profit
Issue.
judgments which may or may not be relevant, which we don't know as of now because we have not made up our mind,
Yes, Lord.
which you should consider. I will give you the references.
Yes, Lord.
There is a Constitution Bench judgment reported at AIR 1964, Supreme Court 254. There is another Constitution Bench judgment which one of you may have referred to, is reported at AIR 1958, Supreme Court, page 52. There is also
Yes, Lord.
another judgment on disqualification generally and office of profit in 1992 4 SCC 404. This is a two-judge bench. And another three-judge bench pertaining to office of profit 1985 1 SCC 151. We don't know, but we might be referring to these.
Yes, Lord.
And I do not refer to judgments without letting the litigants know.
Yes, Lord.
Because you can then tell me that this is wrong law, or this has been distinguished, or this has been overruled.
Yes,
So
Lord.
we are putting you on notice that
Yes.
we might refer to these judgments. Whether we will or not, we don't know.
Yes, Lord.
But we want you to consider these judgments
Yes, Lord.
because I have a different thought which is not reflected in the judgments. So that is something that I don't have to tell you now,
Yes, Lord.
which you may have already understood. So up to you.
Yes, Lord.
You take note of this,
Yes,
and
sir.
then both of you,
Yes,
not
sir.
one side, both of you,
Yes, Lord.
take note of it because, and then come back.
Yes, Lord.
Because I have never,
I understand.
I think it's wrong
Yes, Lord.
after the hearing is over to refer to some judgments because clearly some of the judgments
Yes,
you could have dealt with, you could have
The parties
distinguished.
did not
you
have
could have-
opportunity to.
Parties have to have that. That's also part of natural justice.
Yes, Lord.
So, up to you if you want to proceed straight away or for you to consider and come back.
Your Lordship, kindly give me half an hour, 45 minutes. I will.
Half an hour, 45 minutes to consider and come back.
You know, this, Lordship,
Now tell us when.
next week I'm in some personal difficulty.
No, whenever. Because we are going to give a different twist to the matter. Something which I've been trying to look for, I
I will
haven't
also,
found in any
I
previous
now,
judgment.
in the light of what has fallen from your Lordship, in the light of the office of profit, right to participate in election, these are, whether we have got president in India, outside India, then we need to do some deep research into these issues.
Yes, and what we are talking about is, not a right of participation, in any body. that is a different, say for instance, even in clubs,
Yes, Lord.
even in local, kind of residents or societies or residential colonies, they're governed by their internal rules.
Yes, Lord.
Everywhere, the right to stand or the right to vote is never an inherent right. It is a conferred right. And when it is a conferred right, it is always subject to certain restrictions. These restrictions, if it is in a private forum, can be restrictions as they choose because we have no control over the private. But when it pertains to the basic right to choose your government and right to participate in governance, then it has to conform to the all-pervasive Article 14. And Article 14, as you know, has been elevated to a
Different.
as it will be developed even more.
Yes, Lord.
It will be developed even more as we develop, as we get more resources.
Yes, Lord.
Article 14 is going to be...
Yes, only classification test is not the only test.
No. It's at the end of the day, reasonableness.
Yes, Lord.
And please remember the other thing, which is fundamental, on which I propose to build something, that we are a constitutional democratic republic governed by the rule of law. Both of them happen together. It's not only the constitution, but it's also governed by the rule of law.
Yes, Lord.
So there are some ramifications of that.
And rule of law has to be fair, just, and
Rule of law is rule of law. You cannot define rule of law. The most absurd example that I always give is that if there are 100 people in a village and 99 persons say that the 100th person is a witch, unless by law the person is declared as a witch, he will not be a witch despite. So that's the difference between majoritarianism, democracy, and rule of law.
yes,
So there are some things that the majority cannot do.
yes, Lord. There are certain boundaries which have been set.
Some things that the majority cannot do.
Yes.
There the majority or their wishes have to pass the test of rule of law as to whether it's, and we have Article 14 again over there.
And that is how, if I'm not wrong, Lord, basic feature has been read into the Constitution. That certain things are beyond the control of majority, so that the democratic or the whatever structure we have is
Yes, and
protected.
thankfully it's not exhaustive.
Yes, sir.
Thankfully
It
it's
can't
not
be.
exhaustive.
It can't be exhaustive also, Lord, because it has to evolve
It's
over the
there.
period of time.
It's developed over there, and in another judgment where, which we don't look at very often, in Coelho.
Yes, sir.
In Coelho, there's a great discussion, which of course pertain to Schedule 9.
Schedule 9. Yeah, Lord.
Schedule 9.
I see Justice Agarwal's judgment on that issue.
Yes, I see Coelho.
Yeah, I see. Kindly have it after 2 weeks or so.
Give your date, we'll fix it on
Yes,
that date.
I'll give.
Both of you tell us,
We'll sit and we'll.
because there's a different angle that
I got it, Your Lordship. That
this is something which is very, very fundamental.
yes, Your Lordship, and it is
My right to participate, my right to stand for election, to participate in the governance of the nation state that I live in. That is something which is very precious. And it is something much more fundamental than constitution or statutory.
after 2 weeks, my Lord.
Very well.
We'll sit. We'll get the date.
Certain judgments that the court may seek to rely on for the purpose of adjudication for the purpose of adjudicating the present proceedings have been made known to counsel appearing for the parties. Full stop. Paragraph. The matter will now appear a fortnight hence.
The citations.
It's always fair to let them know.